tour each and every year because it gives us an opportunity at Fort Hays State to visit the many communities that we serve. This is one stop here at the Huck Boyd Center. We've held many events here, and we truly appreciate all your hospitality. I'm Deborah Preto, and I'm the Alumni Director, and I also do State Governmental Relations for Fort Hays State. And it's truly my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jeff Briggs. First, I need to let you know that Dr. Mason is ill and has laryngitis and is unable to speak, so we brought in our excellent next person who's our hitter for the day. Jeff was named Interim Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Fort Hays State in March of 2017. He has had many, many years, first as a student, then as a coach, and a player, then a coach, and stepped into the deanship and a variety of other things, and he does an excellent, excellent job for our university. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Jeff Briggs.
Thank you, Deborah. It's my pleasure to be able to represent Fort Hays State University and stand in for President Mason. And certainly she was looking forward to her first statewide tour of Kansas. It's been a 30-year tradition for Fort Hays State University as our president, President Hammond, started the tour 30 years ago. And unfortunately, she's been fighting an illness, and doing a statewide tour and being unable to speak would create quite the challenge. So with that, we thought that it'd be great for her to be able to meet you all and you to meet her. Really, the story is about Fort Hays State University, and we think it's important to continue to get around the state and tell that story about Fort Hays State University. This is stop one of 31. We're going to have 31 stops here in the next 4 days, 12 cities and 31 stops in 4 days. So I'm glad to start it here in Phillipsburg, starting in northwest Kansas, north central Kansas, because this area is really very, very important to us as we take a look at our role, responsibility, and mission as an institution, a state-supported institution, regional institution in western Kansas. So thank you all for being here. We have a great story to tell at Fort Hays State University. One of the things that we've certainly touted over the years is that we are really about access and opportunity. We want to provide access to the citizens of Kansas, to the citizens of this region, and provide them opportunity. We know higher education is that gateway to economic independence, and if we can get more of our citizens into higher education, post-secondary education, the better off we're going to be, and especially if we take a look at serving our rural communities, educating our students, getting them back into our rural communities where we maintain a vibrance in those communities. And we've taken that role very seriously. This is our 18th consecutive year of enrollment growth, and that is, while it becomes very redundant for us, I hope it stays redundant for us, that's very unique. It's very unique in this region, it's very unique in this state for our four-year institutions to show a growth profile. In fact, we're the only four-year institution, state-supported institution in the state of Kansas that does have that enrollment growth profile, and especially consistently over those 18 years. This year we're serving over 15,500 students. As Deborah said, I've been at the university. I'm actually an alum. I came to Fort Hays State University in 1979 as an undergraduate student. Grew up in Nebraska, came right through Phillipsburg, Kansas on my way to Hays, Kansas. And had the opportunity to get a bachelor's and master's degree there, and taught and coached there. Actually started my career as an instructor and a coach at the university, and then left for about 12 years and have now been back since 1998. When I came back, we were serving about 5,600 students on our campus, and again, that was, I'm in my 21st year back. As we look now, we're serving 15,000. It's at 523 students on our 20th day count. And so we've been able to continue to grow and continue to provide access. As I mentioned, we're about access and opportunity. A big part of that access is providing delivery models that meet the needs of the constituents we're charged with serving. And so if we take a look at our on-campus environment, we're still serving over 4,500 students. In our on-campus environment, we've actually been very stable. We're a little down this year, but we've been very stable in maintaining a residential campus environment, which is central to our mission and our intent. We never want to lose what is very special about the physical campus of Fort Hays State University. This year, we're serving over 7,000 students through our virtual college. We have over 50 programs that we deliver fully online, and we've been able to deliver those throughout the state, throughout the United States, and around the world. So we're serving over 7,000 students through that particular modality, and we're serving about 4,000 students in China in our international partnership programs at 2 primary partner institutions in China, where we employ over 40 full-time faculty teaching these programs in English and providing tremendous opportunities for those students as well. So we really have that wonderful story to tell. Another piece of that, of those 15,500 students, we're serving over 7,800 Kansans. So one of the things that certainly is central to our mission, again, as a regional state-supported 4-year institution, is to serve the needs of Kansans. And we have done that. As I said, we were serving about 5,600 students in 1998. And with the majority of those being Kansans, we're now serving over 7,800 Kansans. That's an increase over last year. And it's about a 10% increase over from 2008. So we've continued to be able to serve more Kansans as we've grown as an institution, and that's really important. And that's through our ability to deliver in our physical campus in Hays, as well as through all of our outreach programs, some of which is delivered face-to-face outreach and other through our creative online program. So place-bound working professionals can continue to seek those credentials. If you have not been to our campus for a while, we'd certainly encourage you to come to our campus. Our physical footprint has changed dramatically. We were having that conversation earlier. Just this past year, we opened 2 new residential halls and also the Center for Applied Technology. Beautiful facilities that have built out our physical footprint. We've also have an art and design building that's in progress right now. Will be opened in 2019. On the residential life side of that, so we opened 2 new residential facilities. We also had a 3rd facility that we had opened a few years prior, which was our Hanson Entrepreneurship Hall, supported by the Hanson Foundation. So those partnerships have been particularly important to us. One of the things that's really important to us as an institution is certainly building out those partnerships. We have a role and responsibility to serve the regional needs, and our academic programs and our service programs reach throughout the western part of the state and trying to provide educational opportunities as well as community service opportunities. And we work far and wide to try and do that. Again, as we talk about access, part of that is our delivery model. The other piece of that is our affordability approach. One of the things we've done as an institution by design is try to keep our tuition as low as possible so that the citizens that we're serving have access to higher education in a manner that is affordable. We've kept our tuition as one of the lowest in the country, and our tuition now is for a full-time undergraduate student will be just over $5,000 per year for tuition and fees, and that's well below what would be considered normal in this region. And it serves us well in serving Kansans. That's part of why we see our ability to serve Kansans increase. It also serves us quite well in the border states. And you're certainly, as a border community, you understand the importance of being able to cross the border and attract business industry, community partners across that. And so our ability to serve students in Nebraska, Colorado, and other bordering states has been very important to us as well. The other piece of access and opportunity is providing programs. And so when we take a look at what makes Fort Hays State University special, certainly it's about people, it's about place, and it's also about programs. And so the wide variety of programs that we have to meet the needs of the workforce, business, and industry is critically important. And so as students come to our campus, we've been able to maintain the type of vibrancy within our programs that is certainly important. Students are educated in state-of-the-art facilities, trying to maintain state-of-the-art labs and other industry-ready sorts of skill sets, and ready to go into the workforce as well prepared as possible. One of the things sometimes we tend to, on a university campus, sometimes we think students come fully assembled when they come to us, when in fact it takes quite a bit of effort to find all the parts to put the assembly of students together. And we know that the students from this region really come with all the right parts. And as we unpack the students that come to us from western Kansas, northwest Kansas, and our rural communities, we know the parts are there, and if we can provide the right experiences, we can help put those pieces together and allow them to align themselves with the opportunities that they seek. So when students' aspirations and opportunities align, we know that there's going to be the opportunity for student success. And we've made a living on that as an institution, and our enrollment profile proves that. And we really appreciate the partnerships that we have in our many communities, and that's why we want to keep this tour together, even without President Mason being able to complete the tour, is that it's a story about Fort Hays State University, and not individuals that make up it's not about the individuals as part of the institution, it's about the individuals that all make up the institution. And as Deborah said, I'm part of that story. I'm really proud to be a Fort Hays State University alum. I can guarantee you I did not come completely assembled, nor did I leave Fort Hays State University completely assembled, but they gave me the opportunity to really grow, and one of our themes as we've in the new presidency is unlocking untapped potential. And coming as a first-generation college student, coming from a rural community, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into in higher education, but Fort Hays State University really helped me at every turn, and now here I am 40 years later, having a chance to represent the university on a statewide tour, and that's really special. It's really, I believe the story, I embrace the story, I've lived the story, and really glad to have you all here joining us today. I'd love to answer any questions you may have about Fort Hays State University, and would love to have you help spread the word, as I know many of you do.
How's your relationship going with these community colleges you've hooked up with? Is that going well?
That's an excellent question. We've worked very, very hard to try and align with the community colleges throughout the western half of the state, and especially then through into central Kansas, where we're trying to make sure we align as many of our programs in a seamless transfer alignment. So students, and we know many students seek to go to the community college for the first 2 years, and so as we create these aligned agreements with the community colleges, most of them, usually it's somewhere between 15 and 25 programs, that we create a seamless transfer pathway for students in our regional community colleges. And we've been to many throughout the state just in this past spring and again this fall. And so that students who go to Colby Community College, Cloud County Community College, Barton Community College, Garden City Community College, etc., know if they go into a particular major and sequence through this particular set of courses, they can come seamlessly to Fort Hays State University and stay on track toward that 4-year degree. And that becomes increasingly important as we see more and more students taking some concurrent credit at the high school level, and leaving high school sometimes with 15 to 24 credit hours that can either come to a 4-year institution like Fort Hays State University or into a community college, and then segue that into a four-year degree where we're staying Again, with that access theme and affordability, that's a piece of that, the seamlessness of transfer. That's really important in the state of Kansas. Even at the Board of Regents level, that's a seamless transfer is very, very important. We've aligned over 80 courses statewide that align between the community colleges and all of the public four-year institutions that are seamless transfer courses. And that's really important for post-secondary education in the state of Kansas.
You seem to have a real good relationship with the city of Hayes, too. That's very important for both of you, I think. And I think that you can tell when you visit there that how much the college means to the city.
The Fort Hays State University does play a central role in the city of Hayes. Again, if we will have, somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 students who we do bring to campus. Those students have family that come visit. Our special events, our arts, humanities, athletics events that bring individuals to campus, help strengthen the business industry, bring people into our hotels, eat in our restaurants, shop in our facilities in the community. The city of Hayes provides scholarship support for us, which is very, very important. Any of our partnering support is critical to our success. And so the city of Hayes has been very generous in their scholarship support, knowing that if we can maintain a vibrant residential campus, that there's a symbiotic relationship there that really allows us to build out the best for all of us. And that's very, very important. So our ability again to host athletic events, the high school athletic events that come in, we host state championship events, and all of those things in our facilities, and all of those things are particularly critical to our success. One of the things I did not mention is we're in the midst of a capital campaign in our foundation, and Dennis has been a critical role and can probably speak more eloquently about it than I can. But it's a $100 million capital campaign, and we're $68 million toward that $100 million goal. And the goal is to have $100 million identified by 2021, and here we are at $68 million now. The foundation provides about $6 million per year in support to Fort Hays State University. $2 million of that is in student scholarships, so attracting students to our programs, and that's really critical. So the support of our alumni and our friends and the people that keep Fort Hays State University vibrant are really, really critical. Again, aligning with business and industry, the healthcare industry is really critical. Our ability to educate people and bring them back to Western Kansas, to our rural communities, and our partnerships in that. Again, the Hanson Foundation, the Kansas Masonic Foundation have really been critical players in our ability to bring students to our campus, provide them educational opportunities, and pathway them back to our rural communities and our Northwest Kansas communities that are really critical, certainly to our success as a region, and certainly our success, our local success as an institution.
I'll ask another question then.
I'd love to answer that.
Okay. What does the University of Indianapolis have? Football team. Have you heard anything since Fort Hays plays on Saturday?
Yeah, we've had a great fall athletically. Our men's soccer team won the MIAA championship for the second year in a row, and then on Saturday, and they actually will host a regional and a super regional soccer set of matches next week. And our football team won on Saturday, won the MIAA conference championship for the second year in a row. And as actually a former football player and a former coach at Fort Hays State University, I realize how hard that is. And the MIAA is a very difficult conference. So quite an accomplishment by them. They'll go into the playoffs next week to the University of Indianapolis in Indianapolis. And they're 10-1. They play in a very good conference. So it will be a great matchup. Anybody who advances out of the MIAA into the playoffs has a chance to go a long way. Anybody, and the University of Indianapolis is coming out of a strong conference as well. They've played and beaten good teams. And so this is a really tough region. And if you can get out of this region, you have a chance to be in the championship as well. So we're looking forward to that. We've had great crowds. We've had great crowds for the home football games. And actually, we will travel well to Indianapolis, I would guess, too.
I'll ask one more. Building, what do you have planned in the future for more buildings, and where are you going to put them?
We have plenty of space. If our friends and supporters will continue to help provide support, we can find space for building. Now, we'll be, we're finishing up the art and design building this year, and that should be open in the fall. The next building will be a student success center that will be built on onto the north side of the Memorial Union. And it will be a 3-level facility that will house a variety of programming and support units that really enhance student success. So it will be student health, it will be mental health services, it will be academic advising, a couple of other areas in there that I'm trying to think of. And that will be the Fhsu Wills Student Success Center. We just got approved at the Board of Regents this last Wednesday for that naming opportunity, and the Fhsu Wills name should resonate with this region as well. Dolores Wills Fhsu, kind of testing my memory here. Grew up in Logan, graduated from Logan, Fort Hays State University, and Richard Fhsu, is that I believe is correct? Was from Speed, and I actually know where Speed is. And both Fort Hays State University grads, and taught in the Los Angeles Unified School District for many, many years, came back, and certainly wonderful supporters, and that's going to be a phenomenal facility for our students. One of the things that is important to us, we need to recruit students to our campus, and you understand the demographics of Western Kansas, and you understand what our school enrollments have looked like, and so we really have to work very hard to continue to get the majority of our college-bound students to our campus and do all the things that we can to do that. And so recruitment is extremely important to us. Retention is equally important. Once we get students to our campus and into post-secondary education, we want to retain them. And sometimes that's a big transition for as small a town, as small a campus as Hays can be in the real world. It's a very large town, very large campus for many of the students who come to our community. And so, and whether they're coming from small rural communities or metro communities, there's some transition there. So we have to provide a number of services that are necessary to help retain students, and we've done a great job with that. We had recruited over 900 freshmen again this year, those are really good numbers for us. We've been over 900 now for a handful of years. And equally important, our retention numbers, measured from fall to fall. So first-time, full-time freshmen that came last fall, how many came back this fall? This year it was 74%. And that's really good for us. That's really good for an institution like us. Very common to be in the mid-60s. It was very common for us to be 65 to 68% in a given year. We've been very intentional about trying to provide opportunities for student success and build a retention profile, and we've been in the 70s and increasing in the 70s for the last 3 years. And that's really, really important to us. We want them to come to us, stay with us, and then get to completion. So get to that appropriate credential and then back into the careers that they seek and serving the needs of our state and beyond.
Jeff, any data on how many of the graduates then turn around and stay in the western half of the state?
You know, we do have that data, and I could probably try and make something up, but I would be misspeaking if I did. But as I say that, I need to send a few of the folks that know that the that question, because I should be able to answer that, and I can't answer that. But I know that it's very common for our students that do come to Fort Hays State from western Kansas to go back. And that's one of the things I think that what makes Fort Hays State University really important, because if we can educate you closer to home, you have a chance of staying in the region and going back and serving this region as a career professional. The farther away, the farther east you get, the farther west, north, it's really hard to get students back into our rural communities.
It's not really a question, it's just a comment, but I applaud your vision as far as the Student Success Center and retention, because we're gonna be graded now on where our kids are 2 years out of high school. I assume you know that, you know, are kids still in school, or have they completed a vocational degree, or so on and so forth. And, you know, it's very important to us where we send kids, you know, because, you know, not bad mouthing any schools, but I mean, sometimes you go to an urban area from Phillips County and you don't succeed. You know, especially if you don't have those opportunities like you're gonna have, all the other needs kids have, you know, like social emotional type needs and things that I know that's gonna be a part of your center, and I appreciate that, because that, if we send a kid to Hayes and they flunk out, that's gonna come back on us too.
Right.
So I appreciate that.
We really do feel a responsibility for the students that we admit, and we have a relatively open admission profile. So we want to provide access to students, but we feel like we have the responsibility. If we're going to admit you to our university, bring you to our campus, we need to do everything we can in our power to assure that you have an opportunity for success. And a big part of that is meeting the student where he or she is. We can expect certain things, but we know people come from very uneven backgrounds and preparations, and so we have to make sure we see what the opportunities we provide to help level that field for those students and provide them the opportunities to be successful. And we know that's going to be differentiated for a variety of students, and we've worked very hard to do that and make sure that there are reasonably clear pathways for students who come in different entry points to get to that completion stage, get to where they're getting the credential that, for us, typically a baccalaureate degree and or a master's degree in that area of study. Any other questions that we can answer for you? So Deborah and Kelsey are fountains of information as well. And we're really glad to start here, and this is a great place for us to start. We like coming up here every year for the student recognition programs, or we're certainly having most years come up here for student recognition programs, and been able to recognize our local students, try and get them welcome to our campus, and it's just really critical for us to maintain those relationships. And it's a pleasure for me to be able to represent the university, because I believe in what we represent, and just know how much impact we've made for so many of our individual students.
I have one more question. You see along I-70 those great signs with the power cat and everything. Do those work? Do people, have they seen those, and you know from seeing that they've come to Fort Hays?
That's a better question for Kelsey, our marketing person. And that's a good question. That's a debate that we're having on our campus right now. Is there a return on that particular investment? Kelsey, do you want to take that on?
That's a great question. I think billboards are important because for that alumni pride more than anything, we all love seeing those going up and down the highway, and they give prospective students something to look forward to. If you're driving out here from Kansas City, Missouri, you get to count your way down seeing Fort Hays State University. But today, so much more is digital, so how do we balance that feeling of pride going down I-70 with maybe potentially other avenues that are digital that do a better job getting in front of students, alums, and.
Well, they really catch your eye when you see them on there. They're good,
Glad to
they're
hear
good
that.
signs, yeah.
Any other questions we can answer for you? Very good.
Thank you, Dr. Briggs. I again want to especially thank everyone who joined us this morning. We appreciate your hospitality, and I'd especially like to recognize Dennis and Sue Miller. They have been key alums for us up here. We have over 400 alumni that live actually in Phillips, and they always step forward every time we call. So thank you all. Have a wonderful day. I think Kelsey has some information for you.
Turn this off. I didn't know how to turn it off. That's okay. Did it come in okay? I didn't know, I was gonna turn that on her, but I didn't want to mess with it.
Man, I couldn't.